This Morris Minor GPO van is very original. It even says so on the side. What more do you need? So check this out and many more in the video that follows. Welcome to Lot 76 Cars. My name's Simon and we're at the NEC Practical Classics Restoration Show, and we're going to take a look in this video at all the fabulous barn finds like this Mark I Cortina console and this Super XR2. So stick with us and let me show you around. So believe it or not, this Fiesta is a one-owner car that was found in a field. Well, I'm surprised it's even survived so well. It's going to need quite a bit of work to turn around this 87 car. Absolute hot hatch of choice for many people. It's got the pepper pot alloys, which were in actual fact an option. The steel ones are far rarer. Now, the only elephant in the room here is, yes, the bodywork, I mean, is pretty far gone on the arches. Actually, the trim and the rest of the car, if you just ignore the arches for a second, isn't too bad at all. Okay, dodgy arch at that side as well. We've got the original dealer plates in the back, Baker of Merthyr Tydfil. Don't know if they're still there. I think this one, oh, it's open, and you know what, inside it doesn't look that bad. Well, good luck to the guys with the restoration of that car, because you could make quite a nice vehicle out of that one, and certainly a very, very original one, couldn't you? So some of you may recognize this Mark I Ford Consul Cortina, to give it its full title, from 1964. So it was rescued by UK Barn Finds, and in actual fact it was a time capsule inside. It's been pretty much left in touch after spending 39 years in the garage. It's got the disabled badge in there, expired a tax disc from 86. It's got proper barn find dust there. To be fair, I don't know what it's like further down, but I've seen a lot worse than that one. Got the disabled badge in the back. Codenamed originally, I think these were codenamed Archbishop at the development stage. It's got the Ban the Bomb rear lights, the so-called Ban the Bomb lights. Well, you know what, that looks like a pretty solid car. I'm not sure what Claire and Elton's plans are with that one, but I wish them luck with the turnaround of it. Once a common sight on Britain's road were these Bedford Astra vans. Now, the owner of this particular one's got some pedigree with Vauxhalls. He's appeared in the Lancaster Pride of Ownership section with his Nova. So maybe you can turn this one round too. These have pretty much disappeared, haven't they? There's a few of the cars left, but the vans, they had a harder life with plumbers and builders and such like. But as a starting point, very little's known about this. I think they've got the original purchase invoice for it. It's going to need quite a lot of work to turn it round. There's just a shout out for the YouTube channel, Bedford Restoration, who's going to be tracking its progress. It's a tiny bit of a dent. It'll polish out, don't worry, at the back end. It's an A, what's that? 84. Fabulous. In leaf green, apparently. Well, there you go. Good luck with that one. So this 1974 Stag was bought by its current owner and his father about 20 years ago, I believe. They ran it for a year and then it failed its MOT, and I think now is its moment in the limelight, and it's going to get a restoration by the sound of it. Now, the good thing with Stags, there's lots of them still on the road. There's lots of parts. All those overheating issues have been pretty much well documented and dealt with. Looks like the original colour was that purple, which I can't remember what that is called, and I should do. Apologies for that. Yes, there's a lot of bodywork, but the panels are apparently quite readily available. So only the brave would take on that. But then, isn't that the case with a lot of these vehicles that are owned by families, kept in the family for generation? The cost actually doesn't come into it. And if you can do a lot of this work yourself, then it does become somewhat a labour of love, doesn't it? Good luck with that one then. So this 1962 Mini belonging to Andrew Grace is an 850, and it was discovered on a deceased estate in South Africa. Now, the paint's faded a little bit, we can forgive it for that. But in actual fact, as with many South African cars, it'll probably be pretty solid and definitely worth saving. Clearly right-hand drive, because it's a right-hand drive market. 62, so misses some of the very early features of that car in terms of those, but it's still got the sliding windows in there. I don't know if it's open. We can have a look at. Oh, it is. You know what? It's not actually that bad inside. Nothing that a bit of upholstery cleaner wouldn't sort out. Seats, I think they're readily available. Those covers, pretty much these days, and that's the beauty of taking on board something like this as a restoration product. Parts supply is key. And that one could make a very, very nice car at the end of it. Now, M25 Classics, who've supplied this barn find, this Series 3 Land Rover, reckon that it can be fixed. Well, that's the elephant in the room, really. I mean, literally the elephant in the room. It looks like one sat on it, doesn't it? A lot of the parts for Landies are available. It's an M. It's going to need an awful lot of work, and you would have to say, would it be worth it? Quite honestly, the way values have gone, maybe in the long term it would. I don't know how easy a repair that would be, but it's certainly a bit out of my skills league. But I'm sure there's somebody out there who can actually turn that one round. Let's hope so. While the Allegro might not have been the car that designer Harris Mann envisaged due to constraints with the engine and other cost factors, it certainly did make its mark. Very comfortable to ride in. This is a very early car. You can't see it there because the car's unfortunately not open, but it's got the Quartic steering wheel. Well, you can see it. It's been off the road for 25 years. I mean, absolutely incredible, isn't it? It doesn't look too bad for that. Okay, it needs some window rubbers, but we can forgive it that, can't we? Of course, but in the important areas, it does look reasonably solid. Arches aren't too bad. Bottom of the doors, possibly something going on there, but I have seen a lot worse. Yeah, 26 years, probably last on the road in 2000, looking at the tax disc. What do you think to that one? Let's hope somebody saves that. Again, it deserves to live, doesn't it? What do you think? So the owner of this car, John, was looking for an estate version, and I think he must be on holiday in Portugal. He found the sedan and found it too much to resist. And moreover, one of the reasons is it's somehow bizarrely, for reasons unknown, a right-hand drive car. I don't know if it's actually open here. Look, if it is, I will show you. Okay, the dash top needs a bit of work. You're gonna have to source a dash top. Doesn't look too clever, but you can bet probably in terms of rust, it will have suffered less than Mazdas of this age in other climates. But to see two Mazdas on the same stand at the barn find section is absolutely incredible, isn't it? Well, that's a rarity, isn't it? Made my day seeing that. What do you think? So this 1972 Morris Minor GPO van has seen a life, hasn't it? In service with the GPO, with the post office telephone service before it became BT. It was found apparently by a watermill. Looks like it was last taxed even in 92. Now we know it's got quite a bit of work to do. Fortune favours the brave, but it is genuine because it says so on the side. But it has got the correct fittings on the roof, I am assured. For the ladders, well, again, be nice to see that one come back to life, wouldn't it? So the current owner ran this MGB as a daily car and wanted to take it off the road for a bit of light restoration. And that was 40 years ago, so it's going to need a bit more than that. MGBs, you can get absolutely everything for these, can't you? But you'd have to be pretty committed to save one like this, I suspect, because it does look fairly solid, obviously on the seams there where they can go. But I have seen much worse, and if you've got a family connection to a car, well, I can understand why you might want to do it and turn that one around. So Bernard Ems, who owns this car, was asked to clear a garage, not quite sure what car, or if there would be a car inside it, hoping it was something big black and maybe a Jaguar. In actual fact, it was this Maestro that the owner had passed away and left in the garage. Now, these are fantastic cars, aren't they? They're survivors. I actually quite like the Maestro. I did as a boy actually go to the launch with my father, bizarrely, in a very big glass area. This one is in remarkable condition. Production, as you know, continued. Kits were sold to Bulgaria for a while, and production continued over there. I think it even was produced in China, bizarrely. The rights were sold there. Again, the doors went on to be used on the Montego. Inside doesn't look too bad at all, to be fair. And another car that somebody's going to turn around, and we're very glad that they will do that. Fantastic. So the UK Barn Finds team have been at it again, and they found this new Cherry GL. I think they may well have bought this Anglia Car Auctions, because I think it's got an awful lot more dust on it than it used to have. But it's got 17,000 miles on. Now, these were not known as the last word in rust protection, but this one does actually look remarkable on the body, doesn't it? And when did you see these? That light gear change that is probably not open. It's not, but you can just about see that red interior. Well, I can anyway, maybe you can't. Apologies for that. I'm so glad that these cars that were once street furniture even, do survive. Corridale Chroma probably long since gone. Can't imagine Chroma is a big place from memory. Shout out to Chroma anyway. What a fabulous car. Well, I hope that one sees the road soon, and it doesn't look like it'd take an awful lot, does it? Now, another car supplied here by UK Barn Finds is this incredible Porsche 924 from '84. It's not the S, it's the original one, I think, with the 2-litre engine. Now, the UK Barn Finds team don't have an awful lot of information about it. It's been reasonably well looked after. It's got just 30,000 miles on the clock, which is pretty good going for one of these. Doesn't look that rusty. Wouldn't. I think that sunroof actually comes out in one piece and stores separately, if I remember correctly. A-plated. It's still got probably the original plates on. Heddle and Deeks Porsche. Anybody remember those guys? Well, again, another restoration that doesn't look that brave, does it really? I'm sure mechanically wise, fuel pumps, water pumps and all that stuff will need doing, but the rest of it, the body, the bit that scares the hell out of me, doesn't look that bad, does it? What do you think? Is that one for you? Now, I always love the backstory, and Ian Mackenzie's 1936 Morris 10 has one. It was apparently rejected in 1972 from a classic vehicle sale for lack of interest. Oh, bless it. It was discovered by chance 3 years ago in mid-Wales at a property that was being cleared, and he's taken this on. It's only had 2 previous owners. I mean, I'm not sure about the love for cars of this age, but quite honestly, something that's so original, doesn't it deserve to live? Okay, it's going to need a fabric roof in there. Inside doesn't look too clever. We're definitely not getting too close to that one for sure. But I'd like to think that somewhere out there is somebody who would appreciate this, and thankfully it is being saved. The memory of learning to drive often sticks with us, and I remember with fondness the K10 Micra that I learned to drive in, and John Clements, who owns this 1973 1300 Deluxe Mazda, also has the same. He learnt to drive in one of these, and this particular one evokes those memories. He found this car in the Netherlands, hence it's a left-hand drive car, and I believe he's going to commence on a restoration with this, and clearly it has got a long way to go. He's got a bonnet. That's handy to start with. So good luck with that one. So this was a brave attempt to reboot the famous Lee Francis brand with this so-called Ace of Spades model. This is from 1990. Now, apparently, the remnants of this were discovered in the old Lee Francis factory. and then it was put up for sale by the then owner of Lee Francis, or the last owner of Lee Francis. So it's pretty much, I guess, one of those hand-built cars that we'd all forgotten about, or maybe just didn't even know it existed. I knew the name had a reboot, but that's been lost into time. And that reboot, I mean, we're talking about something that's 36 years ago. But in actual fact, as a project that you could make your own, maybe that's something you could put your mark on. So inherited as part of a house sale, the new owner of the house found this 1979 Dolomite Sprint. And through a chance meeting at the show, I think a year or a couple of years ago, it's found its way to its current owner. Now, these are absolutely fabulous cars because it's got the 16-valve engine in there, you know, really innovative. Okay, it needs a bit of work on the bodywork, clearly. Very innovative engine that sometimes the body wouldn't indicate it was so advanced. I think the engine, the 16-valve engine, was tuned by Coventry Climax, so did quite a lot of work on these. And you know what, in actual fact, okay, with the bottom of the doors and the sills don't look too clever, to be fair, but the rest of the car doesn't look that bad at all, does it? What do you think? Well, I'd certainly like that, love that interior in these, and even that doesn't look too bad. It's not smelling the best, but that aside, probably quite a worthwhile exercise to turn that one round. Launched in 1950 and replacing the archaic V8 Pilot, which was built in the UK, is this first, I think it's the first monocoque large Ford, so body and chassis combined. This particular car, this 56 car, has been off the road for some years, as you can see. No kidding, eh? I love that visor over the windscreen there, typical period accessory. Interior doesn't look too bad, but forgive me if I don't get in there because I haven't had all my injections. But in actual fact, again, quite a rewarding project for some people. And if you're a Ford fan, why not? So looking marginally worse than Hubnut's own 2CV is this 1986 Dolly. So the Dolly ran in the range, I think, as a run-out model, but I think it ran in the range for quite a while. Actually, also a lot of parts are available, like many of the cars, for these. Is that the name, Ollie? I don't know. Answers on her postcard, please. It's going to need quite a fair bit of work. The hood's got a little bit of air conditioning, but let's not worry about that. But if you want a project like that, I guess you could always contact the guys down, I think it's M25 Classics, and see if they could do you a deal. Now, we've got to thank the people who put these MOT failure cars into storage for the future, because they've done us a favour with this 1989 Vauxhall Cavalier GSI 16 valves. Pretty thin on the ground, these. This particular one, they would have been about £17,700 new back in '89. Not a cheap car at the time. It's got the all-important wipers on the headlamps. It's going to need quite a lot of work. Clearly, the paint is only half of it, and I suspect one of the reasons why the car failed the MOT probably was down to this, where a common spot with these Cavaliers, it's pretty much shot in there. I hope they can either reshell it or find some way to save it, because I think it's probably worth saving. Whether that's economically viable or not, that's a different question.